Karen's sisters wouldn't stop driving through my ranch, so I made sure their precious car paid the price. Have you ever watched someone disrespect your land so many times that even your cows start looking at you like, aren't you going to do something? Because that's exactly where I found myself watching two suburban sisters in full-blown Karen mode blaze through my ranch again, kicking up dust, rattling the livestock, and acting like my private road was their God-given shortcut to the yoga studio. Their names? Sharon and Denise Blanton. Sisters. Mid-50s. Both round, loud, and allergic to boundaries. Denise, the bigger one, wore leopard print every damn day and had this permanent scowl like life owed her something. Sharon was always chewing something, even when she wasn't. The first time I saw their shiny white Range Rover cut through my lower pasture, I thought it was a fluke. Maybe lost. I waved. They didn't wave back. The second time, I stood at the gate with my arms crossed. They honked at me. By the fourth time, it didn't even slow down. In fact, they sped up like daring me to stop them. The problem was they weren't just using my road, they were wrecking it. Tearing through wet patches after rain, ripping open wheel ruts, disturbing the calving area near the eastern fence. I finally walked up to their housey, a beige two-story nightmare with plastic flamingos in the yard, and knocked. Sharon opened the door with a popsicle in her mouth and an attitude the size of Texas. "Yeah, ma'am, I own the ranch just south of here. That pasture road you've been driving through? It's private, not a public right-of-way." She snorted. "Oh, please. That road's been there longer than you've been alive. We've used it for years." Denise waddled up behind her, arms crossed over a sequined pink shirt that said "Boss Babe." "You ranch types think everything's yours," she said, nose wrinkling. "We're not hurting anyone. Chill." I handed over a printed aerial map with my property lines outlined in red. "You're trespassing, and I need you to stop before someone or something gets hurt." They both rolled their eyes like synchronized toddlers. Sharon actually waved me off with her popsicle. "You'll be fine," she said. "We'll be careful." I left steaming, and over the next 2 weeks, they doubled down. I found a south fence post snapped clean off. My heifer Maybelle got spooked and bruised her hip. They even knocked over one of my irrigation markers and left a Starbucks cup right in the tire rut. That was it. I stopped playing nice. So I went back to my workshop and pulled out the surveyor's flags, my trenching shovel, and about 100 gallons of, well, let's just say natural fertilizer. Manure, clay, a little irrigation water for texture. I dug a clean trench right across the spot they always gun through. Made sure it looked flat from a distance. Camouflaged the edges with loose straw and soft dirt. Left just enough firmness to bait overconfidence. Then I waited. And sure enough, Thursday afternoon, just after 4 of 'em, that white Range Rover came flying down the hill like it was in a car commercial. They didn't see the trench until the front wheels were in it. Crack, splash, slurp. The front tires disappeared. Muck exploded across the windshield. The whole car dipped forward like it was bowing to karma itself. And then silence. I stepped out of the barn with my phone recording. I didn't even hide the grin. Sharon jumped out first, screaming like she'd stepped on a snake. Her shoes sank instantly in the gunk. She grabbed her purse and started waving it like a weapon. Denise followed, red-faced and swearing. "What the hell is this?" Sharon shrieked, sludge dripping off her yoga mat. I waved. "Private land. Told you. This is illegal. You trapped us." Denise yelled. "Nope. This is my property. Clearly marked. Your GPS doesn't give you rights." Then came twist number 1. Turns out, their car wasn't even theirs. It belonged to Denise's ex-husband, and she'd borrowed it to run errands while he was out of town. When she called him for help, he called the cops. Twist number 2, the sheriff who showed up was my cousin Luke. He stepped out of his cruiser, took one look at the situation, and burst out laughing. "Oh no," he muttered. "They found the trench." He'd helped me mark the spot just a week prior. Sharon stormed up to him, covered in streaks of mud and cow dung. "You gonna arrest this lunatic? He sabotaged us." Luke tilted his hat. "Ma'am, you are on private land without permission, inside a vehicle not registered to either of you, with damages exceeding $3,000. Want me to start writing this up?" They froze. Sharon's mouth opened, then shut. Denise tried to speak, but only burped. They didn't say a word as Luke called in the tow truck. Not when the winch groaned, trying to yank the luxury SUV out of my handmade trench of justice. Not when the undercarriage tore loose and the passenger door wouldn't open because of suction from the manure. And definitely not when the tow operator said, deadpan, "Hope you weren't planning on reselling this." Sharon stood trembling with rage, arms crossed, brown sludge streaking her velvet hoodie. Denise, red-faced and gasping, had both hands clutching her ruined UGG boots like they'd been through war. Then came the final blow. While waiting for the tow paperwork, Luke decided to take a walk around the perimeter with me. As we were heading back, we noticed something glinting near the far tree line. A set of bolt cutters. I picked them up, and Luke nodded slowly. "Let's see what they've been cutting." We traced a path-broken fencing wire, deep tire ruts, and then the truth. The sisters had been carving their own little shortcut off the pasture road, trying to create a permanent route from their cul-de-sac to the main road. A mini illegal bypass of my land. When Luke saw that, he called an county officer. Trespassing? Check. Property damage? Check. Illegal alteration of land boundaries? Triple check. The report was filed before the tow truck even pulled off the property. And here's where it all came crashing down. Turns out Sharon and Denise weren't just nosy neighbors. They were trying to bring back the old HOA quietly. They had forged support letters, spread rumors about my ranch being a fire hazard, and told a few newcomers that the pasture road was open for community use. So, when the county launched an investigation, boom, all their lies unraveled. The forged signatures, the misuse of neighborhood funds. They'd started collecting fake road maintenance fees. Even their community beautification account turned out to be funding Sharon's Botox trips and Denise's mail-order jewelry habit. In 3 weeks, they lost everything. Their faces were plastered all over local news. Ranch trespass turns into HOA fraud bust. They were fined over $20,000 in total. Sharon's car privileges were revoked by her ex, and Denise was banned from 2 neighborhood apps and 3 HOA boards countywide. As for me, I never raised my voice, never filed a lawsuit. I just let the land and Carmado the talking. I replaced the old trench with a shallow pond for my ducks, fenced it with solar lights. I even carved a new wooden sign right by the gate they used to storm through. Respect goes both ways, roads and ranchers alike. I still get folks asking about the day the SUV sank. I smile, nod toward the fence, and say, that's what happens when you treat kindness like weakness. So let me ask you this. Was I wrong to let their arrogance dig its own grave, or did justice just come with a splash this time? The end.